What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing my top 10 Atlanta Braves prospects as of 2022. So I'm going to be going over the top 10 guys I have in the Braves farm system, which isn't as strong as it used to be, obviously, since most of the prospects have either some have been traded and most of them have been called up to the majors by now, obviously. Guys like Acuna, Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, Ozzie Albies, all those guys have been called up by now. So it's going to be a top 10 list that we're going to be going over. So let's get started. So number one, we're going to be looking at Cristian Pache, center fielder. He's going to be my top prospect. He's got great defensive tools. Got some wheels on him as well. He can be the starting center fielder for the future. Obviously, the hit tool needs some work. That's why he hasn't succeeded in the major league level to this point. But he's definitely a Gold Glover in center. If he can get the hit tool up and honestly just bat like 7, 8, or 9 for the future, that's all we really need him to do anyways. So that's why I have him here at number 1 on these rankings. Number 2, I'm going to go with Michael Harris. He's an outfielder currently at single A. He's only 20 years old, but he has 5 potential tools. He's potentially a 5-tool player. He needs polishing in all of those tools, obviously, except for maybe the run. He's a solid runner. I think he's got an underrated defense. He's got the speed to get 2 balls. Obviously, he'll learn to strike the balls better with time. So I think his fielding tool is a bit underrated. He's got good natural pop in his bat that I think can also be developed as well. So he's got potential to be a 5-tool player. He's not there quite yet, but he is only 20. So he's got a really high potential player. Got a bit of a low floor, but I like prospects like that. So he's going to come in at number 2 for me. Number 3, I have Shea Langeliers, catcher, currently at the AAA level. He's 24, so he's probably soon to be called up. Maybe sometime this season in 2022. If not, he'll probably be the opening day backup behind Travis d'Arnaud in 2023, if I had to say. But he's got great power. He's really developed that power tool, something that wasn't exactly there in his college days, but now he's got that. He's got a cannon of an arm behind the plate. He's a great defensive catcher prospect, and he's probably going to be the catcher of the future starting for sure in like the 2024 season, but it would probably be backup type play in 2023 and possibly 2022 as well. So he's a good prospect, a bit of an older player, but he's definitely got a pretty high floor, if I had to say. So I think he's a top 100 prospect in the MLB right now. So he's coming in at number 3. Number 4, I have Drew Waters. He would be my second overall prospect in these rankings, but he just hasn't quite put it together. He is at the AAA level for the most part. I wouldn't be doubted to see him playing at the majors at some point in 2022. But he's kind of like Michael Harris. Michael Harris isn't a switching bat, but Drew Waters is a switching bat with potential at all 5 tools. Probably both corner outfielders. Drew Waters could play center, but with Pache in the system, he's probably going to end up playing left if he does stick at the major league level with Acuna in right and center field being held down by Cristian Pache, hopefully. So he's at number 4. Kyle Muller is going to come in at number 5 for me. He's the first pitcher we have on this list. I think he is the best pitching prospect in the Braves organization. He's been pretty solid. He got called up to the majors this past year, and he looked pretty good as that kind of 5th rotational guy. I think he will be that 5th guy in the rotation more than likely this upcoming season, and for good reason. He's pretty good. Got good left-handed stuff. If he can get that control at a higher level, he can be a pretty good starter at the major league level. Number 6, I have Tucker Davidson, another left-handed pitcher. I think he's a more underrated prospect than people will give him credit for. He's a former 19th round pick in 2016. Bit of an older prospect, but he's been off and on in the majors for a while. And he's got fairly decent stuff. His control is a lot better than I think people give him credit for. I think his potential is not very high, but he's got a fairly high floor. So he could be that possibly a long reliever type guy when you need him to be. and you need him to come in and just get some innings for your team. So I have him here at number 6. Number 7, I'm going to go with Spencer Strider, 4th round pick in 2020. Actually got called up to the majors really early compared to most guys who were drafted in the 2020 class. He's got a rocket of an arm. He can top out at 100 miles an hour on the fastball. Doesn't have a great stuff at his other pitches, his curveball and his changeup, but it's solid enough. I think he's probably a reliever at the major league level, but with that cannon of an arm, he's got high potential, and that's why he's at number 7 for me on this rankings. Number 8, I have Ryan Cusick, a right-handed pitcher from Wake Forest, just drafted this past year in the 1st round. He's had fairly good production at the single A level in Augusta. He's got a killer fastball, one of the best fastballs in the minor leagues currently. Got a pretty good pitch mix as well with a curveball, slider, and changeup. Does need to work on control, but if he can figure that out, he can be a really good starter. And if he doesn't figure that out, probably going to end up being a reliever. But we'll see how it goes. I like Ryan Cusick at number 8 here. Number 9, I have Spencer Schwellenbach, right-handed pitcher and shortstop from Nebraska. He was also drafted in 2021, and he was a prospect I was really high on. I believe he did have Tommy John surgery recently, or some surgery of some sort, so he does have some injury problems. But I think he's got an extremely high ceiling. I'm not saying he's going to be Shohei Ohtani, obviously. There's only one Shohei Ohtani type guy. But he does have a good potential to be a guy who maybe prioritizes pitching and stands out more in that aspect, or maybe stands out more as a hitter. I'm not sure what the Braves want him to be, but I think he's got pretty high potential at both of those things, so we'll just see how it works out. It does have a low floor, but I like him here at number 9 on these prospect rankings. And finally at number 10, I'm going to go with Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder is a 2020 draft pick in the 5th round, 22 years of age. I saw him play a couple of times in the minor leagues with the team that's in my area, and now he is entering AAA, and he put some pretty good stats at the lower level. I like his slider. He's got a really, really good slider, 60 grade as you can see. I think his control is better than a 50, honestly. Doesn't have the greatest fastball, could get knocked around a little bit, but his off-speed stuff I think is pretty darn good and has quite good potential for the future. So that's going to be my top 10 prospects for the Atlanta Braves. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one.